silver fashion, and Disney jewelry. Why shop online when you can get the same pricing and better quality at Cameo Jewelers?
2 store locations, Menor and Chardon. Menor store liquidation, 50% off Pandora.
Remember the 5 C's when buying a diamond: cut, clarity, color, carats, and Cameo.
Bring in your Lakeland ID for a special discount. Check out our website, CameoJewelers.com, Facebook and Twitter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Our Lakeland problem is Tim. I like.
Good morning, Lakeland, and all who inhabit. It's another episode of the I have no idea what I'm doing hour, and my eyes are starting to water because there's a fan in my face. So let me fix that, Matt.
Yeah, fix that.
Thought we were able to send this rotating around the room.
Yeah,
There we go. Now my eyes
aren't
aren't watering anymore. But anyway, so Matt, first things first, opening day for the Indians was yesterday.
Oh, it was beautiful.
It was gorgeous.
It was beautiful. Something that, one thing that I want to say about the game is we usually, like last year, the one thing I saw with the Indians was if they were going to win like an 8-5, a 9-5 game,
Yeah.
they would score those runs in the first 3 or 4 innings.
Yeah, definitely.
They wouldn't go in the 9th inning, hit a home run with Encarnacion. Already, to me, he's lived up to expectation. You expect, like, I was watching a game yesterday, and I forget, is it Tom Hamilton?
Yeah.
He's the announcer. He said that right before Encarnacion hit that home run in the 9th, or in the 8th, he said, in against relievers in the past like 3 or 4 years, Encarnacion has the best batting average in the league,
Mm-hmm.
AL and NL. So to me, looking at that just speaks volumes. And that right after he mentions this, he hits a home run.
Yeah, that's kind of insane. I was
Unbelievable.
still at work at the time, or actually, no, I was on my way home when Encarnacion hit the homer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, is he still gonna do that chicken wing he does with his arm after he hits a home run with the Indians? I think he did.
I think he did too. I couldn't tell, but and Jose Ramirez. I mean, come on. I mean, we've got Michael Brantley had an RBI yesterday. Santana, Naquin. This team is, if we can keep this up and morph the pitching with the hitting, we are going to be dangerous. We
Yes.
could end up being what the Cubs were last year, better than that.
Maybe.
If we can really, because Brantley, to me, is the major question in this entire lineup.
Well,
What are you going to see from Brantley?
Yeah.
Because we know what we're going to get out of Naquin. We know what we're going to get out of Jose Ramirez. We know what to expect now of Edwin Encarnacion.
Right.
So we know what we're going to get out of those guys. To me, in Santana, we know what kind of player he is. He's a home run strikeout hitter. He's an RBI strikeout guy. He's not going to, get doubles and triples. He's going to hit it out of the park or he's going to strike out. That's how it goes. But usually it's, because last year through May, he had a 120 batting average.
Right.
Something of that. But he had a lot of RBIs because when he did...
We're talking about Santana?
Santana.
Yeah.
So, to me, because last night he had a double.
Right.
Where do you see this? Where is this? Something
He had
about,
2 doubles.
Yeah, he had 2 doubles. Even better. Something about this team with Terry Francona, he likes to mix it up, mash it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely.
And, it's just so fun to watch. Because 5 years ago, watching the Indians,
I could have
if
napped
they're-
through the game.
right, if they're down 5-1, come 4th, 5th inning, you turn off the game.
Right.
It's done. It's over. There's nobody
Well-
on that team that's going to bring them back.
Well, it was like last night. I mean, okay, the score is 5-1, but I never wanted to shut the game off. I'm like,
Right.
I'm sitting there going, they're going to come back somehow.
And we know that even if they don't come back, we know that they're capable of doing it.
Right.
That's what the main thing is. And that's what, you saw out of the Cubs last year
Mm-hmm.
was, even if they got down, you knew they had the firepower in their lineup to get back in any ball game. They were down in a 3-1 lead in the World Series. They had the firepower, not necessarily the pitching, but they had the firepower to outscore the Indians, and that's what the Indians have this year, and I'm very proud to see
That
that.
reminds me. Hey Matt, we need to remind Kyle that the Warriors blew a 3-1 series lead.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I find interesting about that is that everybody mentions the Warriors 3-1 lead in the country. Nobody mentions
The Indians.
the Indians because they're like, well,
But it had happened before in baseball.
yeah.
It never
Yeah,
happened
it
in
never happened
basketball.
before in basketball. And I think the athletes, the basketball players are kind of held to a higher standard because of LeBron and Curry, Durant. You know, you have these names that they're supposed to be, closers. They're
Right.
supposed to, when they have the lead in a ball game, they're supposed to
Finish it.
Yeah, finish it or make it larger before the clock ticks zero. So that's what I thought was really funny about the Indians is that, only Cubs fans. You talk to Cubs fans, that's all they mention. 3-1
Yeah.
lead. 3-1 lead. What'd you guys do? We took 2 at your place. That kind of thing. Now
Yeah, but
it-
didn't we take 1 or 2 at their place too?
yeah, we took 2 of them. So,
So-
and that's what, but it's like, when it mattered, we lost.
Yeah.
And that was the main headline from last year. But I think we learned. All of our young players.
How many were injured
develop-
though last year too?
Absolutely,
Think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah, Salazar, Brantley.
It's like a stark contrast to the Cavs
Right,
from 2 years
exactly.
ago. Love and Kyrie were injured.
Yeah,
And LeBron didn't have much help.
right.
The next year he had help, and what happened?
Yeah. That's why I'm
They
saying
came back and beat him.
right. That's why I'm saying look at the Cubs and the Indians to get back there this year because I think that's the trend
Yeah.
as Cleveland sports as you've been seeing in the last, 3 years. It has grown to the point of where we can be dominant. If it's not
Yes.
in the league, it's in our in the Eastern Conference
Mhm.
with the Cavs, in the AL with the Indians. It's going to start progressing because we have so much talent in our farm system,
Yeah.
and we have so much talent already on the team. You look at guys like Ramirez and Naquin; they're young.
Right.
They're going to be on the team for a while. Kluber's going to be there for a while. Salazar, Carrasco, everybody's at that perfect age.
Right.
The older guys, Santana, have been there. They can teach, Encarnacion. They can all teach
Right.
these young guys for when they are done in, 4, 5, 6 years. Hey, take what I've done and make it better for when I'm gone. And that's what I think, Brantley's going to bring to the outfield with Naquin. That's what he's going to show Chisenhall. He's going to be, look, I've been here. I've played with you guys. I know what it's like to go out there, make some great plays defensively,
Right.
and transition that from the field to the bat. And that's what is going to me, this whole thing, this whole rebuilding stage, whatever the Indians wanted to call it the past 5 years, you know what? It's paying off. It's working.
It is.
And I hope that the Browns can look at this and go, and stick to their guns. I really think that, looking at the other 2 teams that are becoming really dominant in their sports, I just think the Browns need to kind of maybe take a class or 2 from the Cavs and the
Well,
Indians.
there was a funny meme I saw online the other day talking about the Browns. It was said something to the effect of, now that Las Vegas is getting the Raiders, the biggest city without a team is Cleveland. Whoops. Whoops.
What do you think about that, Vegas, for the Raiders?
I think they'll be out of there in 10 years after they get there.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't think they're gonna last.
Why?
Because Las Vegas isn't a city like Chicago or Cleveland.
Okay.
Las Vegas is more of a touristy city.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is
I've never heard anybody say I'm going to Chicago or Cleveland on vacation, first of all.
Well, so is
People-
Miami. So is L.A. So is New York.
But people go to LV to gamble
Right.
and that sort of thing. I don't necessarily think of Las Vegas as a pro sports city.
Well, that
I'm interested to see how the hockey team does that they just got.
well, I understand, but at the same time, I think that places like L.A., places like Las Vegas need pro sports teams. Hear me out, okay?
Go ahead.
You look at the Raiders and what they were in Oakland. They had tradition, but tradition doesn't go hand in hand with success.
Right.
It does if you're a Yankee, It does if you're
Boston.
Boston. I hate saying that. I hate Boston. It does if you're
The Cubs.
Kyle Schwarber. No. It does if you're the San Francisco Giants. It does if you're some of these cities where they focus on it.
Kyle Schwarber. Oh.
But at the same time, Vegas is a money city, and money is the main focal point of professional sports.
True.
So when you look at it, this makes a ton of sense because the Raiders were getting bored. They were doing the same thing every year. They were drafting players that fought to get out. You know, they didn't want to stay in Oakland until they got the money they thought they deserved, or even more than they deserved.
Right.
Derek Carr and Amari Cooper, the wide receiver. You know, they're the two best players on the team. They're trying to attract Adrian Peterson. It might not work.
I
And
think Peterson's going to New England.
if he does, I'm not watching the NFL next year. I'm not going to watch anything because it's pointless. It's pointless. It's worse than
Until
the
Tom Brady
Warriors.
gets injured.
He's not going to. He doesn't because he has an offensive line that sits there like a brick wall. They don't let anybody tackle him. So, but speaking of the Raiders, you know, they're going to let the fans design the logo. They have this really cool new stadium. They're in an environment where people are spending money
right.
left and right. As a businessman, invest in the Las Vegas Raiders because this could end up being so profitable to that city that they don't need it, but they're going to get it. And is it good for the NFL? Yes. Is it good money-wise? Yes. Is it good for the
Where's
Raiders
Tom when I need him?
fans? No. But they can attract the youth, that the 21-year-olds like myself, that we go to Las Vegas on vacation. We think casinos. We think MGM Grand. We think, everything that has to, all the hotels, all the resorts to stay at. You think of all these things with Vegas, all the tradition, all the movies that have been made about Vegas and at Vegas, and you think about it, add a football team to that, and you just kind of have this, well, what can we do today, guys? We can go to the casino, we can go to the bar, we can go, there's always boxing going on there. Oh, wait a minute, there's a football stadium? Oh, yeah, the Raiders are here. Let's go. It's more of it's an attraction. It really is. And that's, in my opinion, I think it's going to work great.
I don't think it is. I really don't.
I don't think it'll work for the team. Money,
yeah.
Money-wise, it's a great move. But like I said, for Oakland, for the Raiders as a team as a whole, it's not. Because think about Johnny Manziel. Okay, think about if he would have been in this position. 2019 is when the Raiders start in Vegas, right? So think about he's still in college. He makes his, college legacy now.
Yeah.
And gets drafted by the Raiders in 2019. An already troubled player that has problems with drinking and gambling.
Right.
And whatever else, was
but
never
that's
reported.
the other thing I was going to bring up. Exactly.
The college kids are going to be open to this landscape of, oh, we can do anything we want.
Yeah.
And that's where I think they're going to have to hire some sort of, somebody was telling me, I think it was here, they were telling me, each player, or each really important player and like the new guys for the Dallas Cowboys, they have certain people that are with them during the week. So they have, if somebody goes out, if they're at home, you can do whatever you want at home. But if they have to contact the team, hey, I'm going to the bar, I'm going to the club, and then they have a bodyguard. That bodyguard's not only for them, but he's hired by the team to watch them so they don't get into crap.
Right.
Like Des Bryant, he has his own guy. Romo had his own guy. That
I'm
was
sure Dak Prescott's got
Dak
his own guy.
and Zeke. They probably have their own guys. That watch them. And I think that's what the Raiders are going to have to do, is especially in that town.
Yes, definitely.
But I think it's going to be fun. It
But
really will
actually,
be.
that's a perfect transition. You mentioned somebody that we're going to talk about for just a second. Hold on. Wait for it. We do have a breaking news story. As of an hour and a half ago, Tony Romo has retired from the NFL to seek broadcasting opportunities.
Yeah.
Who's going to pick up Tony Romo for broadcasting?
CBS, NFL Network, and Fox have interest.
Oh, they all do?
They all do.
Okay.
He like these last like 3 weeks, since he was looking at the Texans and the Broncos, they Fox I think was first, and told him, hey, look, we're really interested in if you want to retire. And I really think that's what this whole thing was. I think he knew from the beginning that if he gets out of football, he can stay. Think about it. You have all these years under your skin. You never won a championship,
Right.
but you still have.
At least you didn't blow a 3-1 series lead.
Right. But you could still you can sit down, do what we're doing right now, get paid a bunch of money for it, and you don't get hurt.
Right.
You don't get tackled by anybody doing it. And I think that was so attractive to him. It's because he's played for so long. If he's played for 2-3 years, and then Fox calls him up and says, hey, we have a position, you're more than likely not going to, give up your career to go be an analyst or an announcer, broadcaster. But since Romo has so many years under his belt, I'm sure he wants a championship. I'm sure it's eating at him. But at the same time, what's best for him as a human being?
Right.
And I think this is the best move. A lot of people were having backlash for this. We're talking about it. And I for once, I'm going to say this. I agree with Stephen A. Smith. Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares? It's Tony Romo. If it was Brady, people would be, oh, this is huge. But for Romo, people are making a big deal out of it. Why? He never did anything meaningful.
Right.
What did he do meaningful? Won 2 playoff games. Made $26, $28 million.
Made $128 million and won 2 playoff games. There you go. There you have it, kids.
That's a great career. No, it's not. I mean, come on. What? And because he's Dallas's little child, you got a new one, Dak Prescott. You got 2 new ones.
Right.
Prescott and Elliott. And to me, it's just like Romo was the mix between the quarterback people wanted to watch play and the quarterback people and the quarterback that newcomers in the league would say, I never want to be that guy. People liked Romo in Dallas, but I think that's the only place people liked him.
Yes, Radimus? They're there for the next hour. Thank you, Radimus.
So you want to do the cards now?
I think we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back and do some baseball cards for a half hour.
Sounds good.
And then we're going to blame you.
For you.
All right. We'll be right back. Livestream.com/Lake Effect. First, second floor breakers, of course. Right, Matt?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you a pop punk music fan? Well, you're in luck. On April 29th, the Spring Fling Festival returns to the Agora, featuring performances by Mayday Parade, Knuckle Puck, Real Friends, Sorority Noise, Tiny Moving Parts, and many more. Tickets are available at